All right, hi everybody. I'm going to give you a quick review of graphing systems of inequalities. If you notice on this page, there's two equations per inequality. So as a reminder, if we think about the inequality symbols, there are four of them. We have greater than or equal to, just greater than, less than or equal to, and less than. We think about doing inequalities, we have two things. We're going to shade them. We're also going to make them dotted or solid lines. The lines that are equal to are always solid, and the lines that are just greater or less will be dashed or dotted. In terms of shading, greater than, we shade above. Whoops. It's hard to see, but okay. We shade above. I lost my thing. Above. And less thans we shade below in general. This is kind of our little handy dandy thing. And this is all for when, these are all about when there's a y over here. Right? So these are about y. It's a little different for x. We'll get there in a minute. So pretty much we're going to take two lines each time. I guess I'm going to go with, I don't know, we'll go, I don't know what colors are going to look. I don't know why I care what colors I'm picking. I'm picking pink. So I'm going to do a pink line every time. I'm going to just make the top line pink here. I'm going to make the other line, I don't know, blue, I guess. And we'll have two lines on all these, just so we can simplify here. All right, so if I think about starting with the pink line, the first one is going to be starting at the number 3, and the slope is -1. So I'm going to put all these dots for my first pink line here. And I got to think about, right? Like if I'm just thinking about the first line, I'm thinking this is going to be dashed, and it's going to be shading above. So if I just did the pink line, right, this one's going to be dashed and this is going to be shaded above. If I go to number 2 and I graph the pink line, I'm going to start at -3. My slope is 6, so up 6 over 1. This is less than, this symbol here, this is less than for pink. So that means we're going to have a dashed line and we're going to be shading below. So here's my line. I'm going to make it dashed. I'm going to try and make it pretty. And we're below this line. It's not perfect, but we'll fix it later. Number 3 is greater than. So it's going to be above and dashed because it's greater than. So I can graph it starting with a -3, and my slope is down 1 over 2. Dashed means I'm not connecting it and making it solid. And we're shading above. So this is this section. Finally, right, number 4. Greater than or equal to is solid above. My line starts at 2. My slope is down 1 over 3. I'm going to go both directions here. This is a solid line, so that means, whoops, not perfect, but it's solid. It's greater than or equal to. We are above. Ooh, now we have some vertical lines and horizontal lines. Y is greater than or equal to 1. That means here, and actually it's going to be a horizontal line through 1, and we're shading there. Number 6, y is less than -2/3 x plus 3. We start at 3. It's -2 over 3. It's not solid, so we are going to just dash these lines because it's less than only. Less than means shading below. Whoops. So here we go. Right now on this paper, I've graphed all 6 pink lines, which is half of every problem. because there's also blue lines to graph. So what happens when we graph those on top of these together? Well, if we start with the first one and we've got less than, we can use our symbols to know we're going to shade below. It's going to be dashed, so we have to first graph the line -1. Whoops. We start with -1. Our slope is 3. So 1, 2, 3 over 1. 3 over 1. Here it is. It's dashed as well. So, and then it's less than, which would mean we're shading here. Now, when we're doing this on paper, we don't actually have this entire thing. What we really want is just the section that makes them both true. So if we're thinking about solution regions, like this is the region, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. This region works. This is no, this is no, this is no. So the solution to the system's got to make them both true. So if we think about this, taking off some of the shading here, right? This zone, right, works for pink being above the pink, but it isn't all below the blue, right? This section here is below blue, but it's not all above pink. I'm actually thinking of changing some of this right now, seeing if this just helps in context. So if we think about this right now, like this is yes for blue for both of these sections, and this would be no for blue in both of these sections, right? If we go back to pink real quick, this, oops, zone, I'm recording a video, Lise. This zone works for pink, right? So we've got yes for pink, oops, right? Yes for pink, no for pink, no for pink. If we look at that this way, what's the only section that makes them both true? I'm just gonna pick another color, but this is the only spot that makes both of them true. Oops, that looks weird. There we go. So the actual answer is this purple zone. So let's try this with number 2. If we think about it this way again, like this is all the stuff that makes the pink true, we have to layer on blue as well, the blue line. So the blue line starts at 2 and has a slope of 1. So it's going to go here, here, whoops, here, and so on. It is not equal to, so I'm not going to connect the dots. If I think about where am I supposed to shade, well, this is less than, so we're supposed to shade down here. Now we can sort of see there are 4 corners, right? This corner up here is not true for either, but the only one that's true for both, right? This one works for blue and this one works for pink. That's the only spot with both of them right there. So if I was to get rid of things and just shade the actual answer, it would be this zone in here. This is the solution that works for both. And again, we could look at this and have a little bit more check marks if it helped. I'm gonna think about now number 3. If we graph the blue line right here, 2x plus 2, it starts at 2. The slope is 2. It's gonna be solid. So that's nice. If we think about this again, let's just get rid of this pink shading for a minute and think about the fact that if we did that, this worked for pink, this worked for pink, this was no, this was no. So let's think about blue, right? What's going on with the blue? Well, blue is less than or equal to. So that means this is going to work for blue. Oops, that's not less than, that's greater than. This is going to work for blue, and this is going to work for blue, and these are not, right? Because those are above, these are below. Where's the only section that's both of them? It's this one, right? This is the only section that's true for both. Same thing on number 4. We're going to keep it going. This is y for the blue line. Y is greater than or equal to x minus 2. We start at -2. Our slope is 1. Rise 1 over up 1 over 1. It is a solid line because the symbol. And if we think about that right now, let's just go back to our pink real quick and mark what works and what doesn't work in the 4 corners. So I'm going to get rid of this because we just figured out that this is true for pink. This is true for pink. This is no. This is no. Now let's think about the blue line. Where is the stuff that is greater than or equal to the blue line? It's here and here. So where's the one spot that's the solution to both? It would be right in there. 2 more to look at. Scrapping warm-up answers. Oops. Sorry. My apologies. Just checking something out real quick. Okay. All right, blue on number 5 and number 6. Number 5, y is greater than 3x minus 2. We're starting at -2. Our slope is 3 up 3 over 1. Continue that. It is not solid, so we're going to make a dashed line. Oops, that point could be there as well. I'm going to go back and think about my pink, what does and doesn't work right now. For pink, this worked and this worked. This did not. This did not. And if I think about blue in terms of this problem, we're talking about greater than the blue line. That would be yes and yes. These are no's. So where is the spot that makes them both true? Only over here. Last question is slightly different. X is less than or equal to 3. Hopefully remember that is a vertical line through 3. It's equal to. If the numbers, the x's, are lower than the 3, they're going to be in this zone over here. A reminder, a way to do this with shading is where is the section we've double shaded. If we think about this right now, we know that this section works, this does not, and this does not. In terms of the pink stuff, right? Oops, that little X was in the wrong place for the blue one here. Oopsie. Right, the 4th section, I mean, we don't have to mark everything that doesn't work, but it's down there that doesn't work. In terms of pink, this works and this works. These don't. Where is the spot that makes them both true? Just this one right here makes them both true. I'm gonna get rid of that in this and make it purple, and that's all there is to it. I'm gonna zoom out again. One note I didn't make is with the X's, if it's a vertical line, shade left when it's less than or equal to, and right when it's greater than or equal to. I hope that helps. I'm going to figure out how to stop my video, and I found this cool little pointer. I don't know what effect it has, but it's pretty cool. Hold laser tail. Oh, that's not what I needed. Okay, sorry, that's all.